Welcome to day 4 of our video advent calendar. I have my book all ready to open to find out what ornament I have for my advent calendar today. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you one of the decorations I created for my Victorian Christmas market. It's very, very Victorian, and it was actually very, very easy to put together. So I'm going to show you how I did that. And we're also going to see what Lucy's been up to. But first of all, let me open my book and see what ornament I have today. Let's have a look. Let's open it up. And oh, one of my favorites. This is, I love these glass snowflakes, which just reflect the light beautifully on the tree. And that's one of my favorites about Christmas trees, putting glass or anything with a reflection on it. Just at night, it just has this beautiful, magical feel. So I'm gonna add this to my Christmas tree for my day 4. And let's go see what Lucy's been up to today. So today I discovered that Lucy's been getting up to a little bit of mischief in our fruit bowl with a marker pen and some oranges. So I wanted to recreate those Victorian lanterns that you see in the Dickens books. And I wanted to do it with something like with the fresh greenery. So I actually borrowed these from a friend, and these are actually perfect because it gives you the lantern, but it allows you the space to put your greenery. But you could really do this with any kind of lantern, as long as you've got the space in the side. And I just filled the bottom with florist foam. And then in the middle here, you'll see there's a circle. And all I did was I wanted to put a candle in. So I took the candle and I actually just marked it into the foam and then cut round and pulled that piece out. So now my candle fits nicely into the middle. And then basically what I'm going to do is put my greenery around it. And these are going to be hung from the wall in the one of the rooms for the Christmas market. So all I've done is I just went out and cut down some greenery from around the manor. And I found these ones which have a nice kind of flat profile to them. So I just take the flat piece, and I always start by kind of creating a base around the bottom that gives you kind of like that flat structure, and then I build up from there. But you really could do it any way you want. I mean, however you love to put greenery in your lantern, it works either way. This is just the way that I do it. And then once I've kind of got my base, I then kind of fill in. So I kind of go up, and then I'll mix in different types of greenery. But to be honest with you, it's all about having fun. So my philosophy is that if you enjoy putting them in, there's no right or wrong way. It's just a matter of giving it a go. And you know, just because you don't think you've done it before, or you're not sure that you don't think you're very creative, or it really doesn't matter. Like, the fun of this kind of project, especially for Christmas, is that you can just give it a go, right? And you can't go too far wrong. And then I often get these tiny little pieces that you find that kind of fall off, and I'll just tuck them underneath, especially on a lantern that's hanging, because obviously you can see from underneath. So I will take these tiny little pieces and just tuck them in underneath here, and they'll actually drape down, so it kind of gives it a little bit of dimension if you're looking up. Now, if you're not putting it up, it doesn't really matter, because it's just, if it sits on a table, then you wouldn't see underneath. But as these ones are going to be hanging, I'm just going to put a few pieces kind of right underneath so that it kind of hangs down a little bit. So I think this is looking pretty good. I'm pretty happy. It's pretty even. It's got some nice kind of fullness. So then the last pieces I'm going to put in are these kind of more flowy and the drapey kind of greenery. And it's kind of nice. I like to add a little bit at the top just to give it a bit of different texture. So what I do is I cut off kind of this kind of size, And then I just put it into right at the top here. So it kind of hangs over and kind of gives it this kind of wispy feel at the top. So I'm just going to add a few more of these in. You can see here, it's got a bit more of the wispiness here, which is kind of nice. But again, as I said, you could use whatever greenery you wanted. You could add in holly, which would be really beautiful. You could put in berries, small pine cones, pretty much anything you can find that you like, you can add in and make it look really quite pretty. So there we go. My greenery is all in, and as I said, you could add in some berries. In fact, I think I have a few. Here we go. Just some, berries that you can, either fresh ones. These ones are not fresh. These ones are ones that I've picked up. And you can add in just a little bit of the red, which is kind of nice. Give it a little bit of color. You could make it very silver, or you could do more themed in gold or white, or whatever your theme is for your Christmas. You can add it in. I'm just kind of obviously sticking with the traditional red and green, just because, just like something like this that just adds a little bit more color. But I'm doing the more traditional Victorian, so I'm just going to stick with the red and the green. And then the last piece is our ribbon, which I am going to put right on the top. So the way I do it is I decide which side I like best, and that's the side that I want showing, and that's the side I put my ribbon. So I'm going to use this side with the red that we put in. So I've just got a long piece of ribbon, and I'm just going to, again, for my lantern, I'm going to tie it from the top. But again, if you have a different lantern or a different style, you could tie it from the bottom, or even in the lantern. Really, this is all about you making it the way you want it to look, right? So my final piece on my ribbon is I always just cut my end in a diagonal, just like that, just so it kind of finishes it off. And I'm just going to leave my ribbon hanging. Again, you can do it as long or as short as you want it to be. Maybe we'll just shorten up this side a little bit. And there we go. One lantern ready to be hung for the Christmas market.